The doors to the Viridian tea house are open once more. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I do want to give a thanks and a shout out to the Wheat Ridge Coop and Poultry and Meats Butcher Shop for a really cool Meat Appreciation Day. I don't think I've ever done a Meat Appreciation Day event, but there was tons of meat and lots of laughter, and it was a good time. And also a special thanks to, as always, Denver Magic Makers Market and Priz Magic at Colorado Mills Mall. I didn't get a chance to go into the mall, but it is huge. And Priz Magic is a fantastic, fantastic bar. It is absolutely lovely. So many thanks to Jackie and the crew for putting on yet another wonderful event. So I will see you next month at, I think it's Ant Life. We go back to our regular place. So if you're a regular for the Magic Makers Market events, I'll see you next month. All right, so I've got some really cool books to talk about today. So if you're ready, let's do this. So I do want to give a shout out to Inglewood Library and Denver Public Library for having these books. Yay, libraries. So the first one, I had never heard of the author, but I'm now a devout follower. I love her work. And it is So Late in the Day by Claire Keegan. You can see it without the glare. And like I said, the title kind of grabbed me and I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. What I didn't realize was that these three stories were going to affect me in such a way that kind of inspiring me for my own writing. So let me read the dust jacket for you. From bestseller author and Booker Prize finalist Claire Keegan comes a triptych of stories about love, lust, betrayal, and the ever-intriguing interchanges between men and women. In So Late in the Day, a civil servant faces a long weekend as his mind agitates over a woman with whom he could have spent his life had he acted differently. In The Long and Painful Death, a writer's arrival at the Achill island home of Heinrich Boll for a 2-week writing residency is disrupted by a German academic who imposes his criticisms and opinions. And in Antarctica, a married woman travels out of town to see what it's like to sleep with another man and ends up in the grip of a possessive stranger. Each story probes the dynamics that corrupt what could be between women and men, a lack of generosity, the weight of expectation, the looming threat of violence. Potent, charged, and insightful, together these three essential tales form a brilliant exploration of gender dynamics and an arc from Keegan's earliest to her most recent work. So Late in the Day will linger with readers long after the book is closed. And for the author, she was raised on a farm in Ireland. Her stories have won numerous awards and have been translated into 40 languages. Antarctica won the Rooney Prize for Irish Literature and was a Los Angeles Times Book of the Year. Walk the Blue Fields won the Edgehill Prize. Foster won the Davy Burns Award and is now part of the school's syllabus in Ireland. How cool is that? Small Things Like These won the Orwell Prize for Political Fiction, the Carey Group Irish Novel of the Year Award, and was shortlisted for the Rathbones Folio Prize and the Booker Prize. Both Foster and Small Things Like These were international bestsellers. So yes, the line that says, so late in the day will linger with readers long after the book is closed. I have to agree with that statement. I continue to think about these three stories well after I finish reading it. Like I flew through this book. But of the three, I would have to say Antarctica disturbed me the most because I didn't really see it coming. I mean, I kind of sort of did, but then when it actually happened, I was like, whoa, that just got really creepy all of a sudden. But a well-written story that you just can't help but get sucked into the words. The Long and Painful Death, I actually kind of laughed a little bit with the situation between the writer arriving and the German academic. I thought that was that was not funny, haha, but funny, yeah. And So Late in the Day, I felt sorry for both of the characters. I really did. But if you're looking for a new author to try out, Claire Keegan is an author that you need to check out. So Late in the Day was a perfect collection of stories, and I cannot wait to check out her other works as well. And it does receive 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. I mean, there was nothing bad about these 3 stories. I didn't think, oh, that one was kind of weak, but the other two, no, all 3 carried their own weight. Absolute perfect stories. So if you're looking for a new author to check out, Claire Keegan, you definitely will not go wrong by her. Excellent work. And the second book, provided by Denver Public Library, again, this was an author I'd never heard of before, and I thought, well, the title caught me, so let me check it out. And that is August Blue by Deborah Levy. And let me read the dust jacket for you. If she was my double and I was hers, was it true that she was knowing, I was unknowing, she was sane, I was crazy, she was wise, I was foolish? The air was electric between us, the way we transmitted our feelings to each other as they flowed through our arms, which were touching. At the height of her career, the piano virtuoso Elsa M. Anderson, former child prodigy, now in her 30s, walks off the stage in Vienna mid-performance. Now she is in Athens, watching an uncannily familiar woman purchase a pair of mechanical dancing horses at a flea market. I love the detail and the attention paid to these mechanical horses. You see this all throughout the novel. Elsa wants the horses too, but there are no more for sale. She drifts to the ferry port on the run from her talent and her history. So begins her journey across Europe, shadowed by the elusive woman who seems to be her double. A dazzling portrait of melancholy and metamorphosis, Deborah Levy's August Blue uncovers the ways in which we attempt to revise our oldest stories and make ourselves anew. And about the author, she writes fiction, plays, and poetry. Her work has been staged by the Royal Shakespeare Company, broadcast on the BBC, and widely translated. She is the author of highly praised novels, including The Man Who Saw Everything, which was long listed for the Booker Prize, Hot Milk and Swimming Home, both Man Booker Prize finalists, The Unloved, and Billy and Girl, the acclaimed story collection Black Vodka, and her 3-part autobiography, Things I Don't Want to Know, The Cost of Living and Real Estate. She lives in London and is a fellow of the Royal Society of Literature. No kidding. After reading this book, it was a very light read, and I don't mean light in terms of the subject matter. It was a very airy flow to the story as you follow Elsa and her blue hair. I loved kind of being Elsa's shadow when it came to her meeting with her supposed doppelganger, in which there was a reason for seeing this woman, which you'll find out at the end if you decide to read the book. I loved how it was just a tiny bit of psychological thriller, just enough to kind of keep you on the edge of your seat, but still fall in love with the author's words and how Elsa just kind of transforms in a way, or maybe a metamorphosis, more like a metamorphosis than a transformation, but kind of the same thing. Anyway, I digress. I loved this book. It was a beautifully written literary work. I loved it. And just like with Claire Keegan, I'm now a fan of Deborah Levy, and I will be checking out her books as well. But I loved how there was a reason as to why she left the performance in Vienna. There was a reason. And when I read it, I thought, I wonder if creative people, or specifically musicians, view the world differently than everybody else. I wonder about that. Like when I play my violin Frederica, I'm suddenly seeing Frederica's spirit and we're making music together. So perhaps I'm kind of going through what Elsa went through, but overall it was a beautiful, delicate, slight pinch psychological thriller. And in the end, everything kind of wrapped up quite nicely. But for August Blue by Deborah Levy, this does receive, you know what? Scrap it. It receives 5 pots of tea from Viridian Tea House. I was actually going to give it a 4, but then I thought, why give it a 4? It really was a damn near close perfect novel. So once again, August Blue by Deborah Levy and So Late in the Day by Keegan, 2 authors you definitely need to check out. So many thanks again to Inglewood Library and Denver Public Library for having these books and introducing me to these 2 authors. Thank y'all so much. Libraries are amazing. So on to the tea portion, no review, but talking about one of my blends, which has actually been quite popular lately. And this is the Bookworm Herbal Tisane. So this is one of my rooibos blends. It's also known as African honey bush. There's no caffeine in it, and it's a beautiful like reddish orange color. So the Bookworm Herbal Tisane is rooibos, lemongrass, jasmine, and dried orange peel. So you can kind of see it against the film there. But yeah, lately with the past events, I've sold a lot of Bookworm. And in fact, I have an event coming up this Saturday at the Meat Ridge Coop, and I will have Bookworm. So if you're watching this video and you're like, wow, that just really sounds delicious, I do have tons of bags of Bookworm that you can either get directly from me through my website, viridianteacompany.com, or at any future event that I'll be a vendor for. And actually, I brewed, of course, a whole bunch of Bookworm. That's kind of light because I added extra water to the teapot. But my cup here, I don't want to spill it, but it is a deep reddish orange. It is absolutely beautiful. So from me to you, a cup of Bookworm Herbal Tisane. You know, I added just a little bit of honey to it, which actually rooibos is kind of naturally sweet, but I just wanted the kind of flavor of honey because for me, I don't know about you, but whenever I add honey to a tea, it enhances the flavor. It doesn't make it sweet like with sugar. You just kind of get more of the tea, I think, when you add honey. And that's exactly what I'm getting with the Bookworm. It is absolutely one of I love all my teas. People ask me, which one's your favorite tea? And I'm like, I can't pick because they're all great. But the Bookworm is absolutely a wonderful blend. And I have tried this both hot and iced. Delicious on both counts. It's so smooth and all of the ingredients play well together. They really do. And rooibos is not overshadowing or overpowering all the other ingredients. You get a nice, flavorful cup with the Bookworm. So that's all I have for today. But before I wish you a fond farewell, let's do a little breathing meditation. So make sure that you have a glass of water or a cup of tea. Find yourself in a quiet space and a comfortable position. We're just going to focus on our breathing. You guys know the drill. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now have a sip of your water or tea. Excellent. So thank you so much for watching this video. And if you like what you see, please follow the channel and give it a thumbs up, make any kind of comments. And I always say this too, if you're an author that you've just put out a book or you have several books and you're interested in having it on Viridian Tea House, please send me an email to teagoddess74@gmail.com. Also, if you have a tea company or if you make your own blends or what have you, and you're interested in having them featured on Viridian Tea House, again, please send me an email. That's teagoddess74@gmail.com. So many thanks to Inglewood Public Library, Denver Public Library, Wheat Ridge Coop Meats and Poultry, Denver Magic Makers Market, and Deborah Levy and Claire Keegan, and all of y'all for watching these crazy, silly videos that I do not edit at all. So as always, take care of yourself and each other. Raise your teacup high. And before I forget, in terms of my knitting, I'm almost done with my slime scarf. It is quite long. It's like Doctor Who long. I forgot to talk about that earlier. So I should be done with it this week, and probably next week I'll display it on next week's Viridian Tea House. So take care of yourself and each other and your knitting. Raise your teacup high, and remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all really soon. Bye for now.